And also you can save it as a layer file, and you can open the properties. So when we open the properties right now, we see here a lot of tabs. But before we take one of them, let's go to the labels tab. And as you see here, the color is red, it's bold, and here's the details for how the label is going to look like. For example, let's come here and change it to blue or black and remove it and make it italic and say apply. You're going to see that it's changed here. So that's where you change your label, and there's so many options here that you can make it as a symbol, you can choose the font, the color, and you can really change it however you want. So here you can disable it from here, so it's not going to be visible anymore. That's one of the properties of the layer that you can define from here. So let's start in the layer properties from the beginning. I'm going to go to General tab, the General tab where you can change the layer name, and you can write a description about it. You can set the visible scale here as well, and you can set between this scale and this scale. This layer gonna only be visible at this scales. I'm gonna remove this one because we said it before. I'm gonna click apply. I'm gonna go to source tab, and the source tab, it tells you where this feature class is located, the actual folder path to it, and which web mercator it's using, or which special reference it's using, and other information about it. And you can actually change the source for it. So for example, if you have your streets saved somewhere else, you can navigate and say, okay, now this is my data source for the streets. Selection, you can change how the selection look like. This is a symbology for the selection. And you say you can change the color if you want, you can make it however you want. Display here tells you like, do you want to make it transparent? And which field do you want to use for the labels? And some other options that you can try and play with. Symbology. Symbology here, you can change the symbology. Same thing when we do it from here. You can change it from here, but in an advanced way, in a way that you can come to the categories and say, for example, I want my lines to have a different colors based on the length. So I selected the length from here. I select the unique values. I select the length, and I say add all values. So right now I have all the length of my lines, and each line gonna have a different color based on the colors schema I choose from here. So if I choose this one, each line gonna have a different color based on the length of it. So this one here, I'm gonna just make it more visible. If I click apply, you're gonna see that all the colors have been changed based on the length. So for example, you can use this when you have streets like longer than 1 mile, it can be in green, or shorter than 1 mile, it can be in red. You can do this through here. And we have so many other options here that you can review and try and play with to see what's the difference it can do to your map. I'm gonna go back and return it to its default one. Okay, apply. Fields, and here you can enable any fields. You can say I want to sort these fields in a certain way, ascending, descending, and you can say I want to show which fields you want to show when you do identify or the attribute table, and which one you don't want to show. For example, if I said I don't want to show the length anymore, I can click OK. When I identify a line, the length is not visible anymore. Not the shape length, but the length. And when I right click here and open the attribute table, the length is not here. If I bring it back and say okay, now it show up again, and it show up here as well when I do the identify. Now the shape, the length show up again. So you can set up how your field's gonna look like. You can rearrange them, make the object ID in the bottom or on the top. It's totally up to you. And some more options here, like choose the field name instead of the field alias. So many options you can change. And here's the definition query. And the definition query is to create like a condition that's going to show specific features based on this condition. And the way to do this is click on Query Builder. And for example, in the streets, we're going to say, I want to show only the streets that have length more than, I don't know the actual values. So I'm going to click Get Unique Values. And I see here that the values is different. So let's select the shape length instead, Get Unique Values. So here we have like 46 and 55 and 100 and 200. So I want only to show the shape length. I will double click on shape length. It show up here. It's basically creating a query where it select all from street where shape length is bigger than 200. Or I can select the value from here. For example, instead of writing 200, I can select I want to know anything bigger than 247. When I click OK, apply, it's going to only show 3 lines that is actually longer than 247 meters. I can come here again. I say, okay, now I want to show smaller than 100. I'm going to hide the others and show, click apply. I'm going to show this one because this is the only one that is smaller than 100 in length. So if I delete this and click apply, it's going to show all the lines again. Labels, we check the labels. Routes, if you have a network dataset, you can set up how your route's going to look like, the colors and the size of it. And on the top here, something called hatches. This is like an advanced thing for that we're going to discuss in the ArcMap advanced course. But you can, of course, you can like try it and see what it does to you. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me and ask me any questions. Joins and relates, it's the same thing when we right click here and we did the join time. And this options here, we don't have the right data for it, but this one can be used, for example, if you have a streets and you have data for the traffic along the day, you can use to show here, like you can create a time frame where it shows you the line from green to red based on what time of the day and how much the traffic is moving. You can do this from here. And here, the last option we have here, we have the HTML pop-up. And this is basically you define how the identify gonna look like when you have it as a pop-up for the layer. You set up all the information here and you can set up an actual HTML script to make this identify called HTML pop-up to show you the information for the line in an HTML format. So you can change this however you want. You can make it, change the colors, change how it looks like with an HTML script. So here we covered all the properties for the layers, and same thing for the polygon and the points. Just gonna be sometimes different for the symbology. Some options gonna be available for the polygons, not available for the lines, but you're gonna see all the main things same for all the layers. At the end of this video, I want to thank you so much for having the time to watch the video. If you are interested to learn more about ArcGIS products, please go to arcgismastery.com and you will see that we have a lot of selection for online training courses, starting by ArcGIS Desktop and another products like ArcGIS Online, ArcGIS Pro, ArcGIS Enterprise, and so many more. We also have coming courses that you can subscribe to and enroll right now and get a 50% discount. And we will appreciate it if you leave a comment below and let us know what exactly you need to see in this course so we include it in the course for you. And lastly, I will encourage you so much to subscribe to our monthly updates so you can stay updated with what Esri do. At the end, I wish you all the best and thank you so much for watching this video.